All right, now I'm going to show you how to do your makeover days. So we have a logged food for 2 days of what we ate, and we have looked at our diet, what nutrients we're having too much or too little of, and now we are going to make adjustments to make our next day a healthier option. So here's what you're going to do. You are going to go to food, okay? This is the most important part. You're going back to the original days that you logged, okay? You are not going to make 2 new days. You are going back to your original days that you've already created, and you are fixing them to make them more healthy. Okay? So here's how I'm going to do that. You need to include breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because that's how you can have a well-rounded diet, eating 3 meals in a day. You need to have all food groups: protein, grains, vegetables, fruit, and dairy. And then we need to be meeting those nutrient goals. So if you look at these numbers here, I'm not concerned about calories really, but we want to get as close or within a reasonable amount to our nutrition goals. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for day 1. So I'm going to first start, do I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I do. So I do not have to add that to my project. If you do not have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you need to add that to your project, okay? Then I'm going to see, do I have all food groups? Do I have a protein? So then I look, I have chicken nuggets and a hamburger, so I do have protein. So on my page here, I would write chicken nuggets, hamburger. Then it's saying, do I have fruit? So I will look, do I have any fruit? I do not. So then I need to adjust my diet so that I'm eating fruit as a part of my day. Something I'm going to do to get fruit in my diet is I am going to replace my breakfast, because if I look down, I am over on sugar, okay? I, however, have sugar in my brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. So I'm going to remove my Pop-Tarts from my breakfast, and I'm going to replace it with the fruit. So then it's saying changes I made and why. I replaced my Pop-Tarts from breakfast with, I'm going to have a banana because it's easy to just grab and go, because I needed fruit, but I also made this decision because it lowered my sugar number. Okay, so then I would go back here. I would add a food to my breakfast. I'm writing it down as I go because I don't want to forget the changes I made. And then I would click add, and good to go. Okay, then you are going to write here that you had a banana. Then you're going to look at veggies. Do I have veggies in my meal? You scroll, you look. I do not have a vegetable. A lot of times you will add a vegetable to lunch or dinner. If you remembered, in my project, I was over on sodium. So on my little page from the earlier when I was doing micronutrients, I was over on sodium. So I said that I was going to replace that with chicken and noodles. So I'm going to go ahead and just erase my ramen noodles. Removed ramen noodles to reduce sodium, and replaced them with homemade chicken noodles. Okay, so I removed it and I'm going to add it. Do you know what's in chicken and noodles? Vegetables. There's celery and carrots in homemade chicken noodles. So then I would write homemade chicken noodles. I would search it. And then I would add 2 cups to my meal. Then I would write here that I have carrots and celery in my meal. Okay, and then now I have my homemade chicken and noodles, 2 cups. I might, and then I have my vegetable. So now I have carrots and celery in my homemade chicken and noodles. Now I need to make sure I have a grain. Obviously, if I'm having chicken and noodles, the noodles are a grain. And then do I have dairy? So I want to look, and then I had a cheddar pretzels. Technically, cheddar is dairy, but I could easily add a glass of milk to dinner to get my dairy intake. Add. And then there we go. So I have 3 meals. I have all my food groups. But if I look, my sodium and sugar are still a little high fat. I'm not concerned about because that's kind of within a reasonable amount. But I do need to look at my sugar and my sodium. So if I look here, it looks like my McDonald's double hamburger was high in sodium. So maybe instead of a double hamburger, I'll get a single hamburger. So then I go to McDonald's, I add food, I will get a single hamburger from McDonald's, 1 sandwich, add food, and that helped bring my number down. So I would write that I did that. Single hamburger instead of double to reduce sodium. And I need to look at something else. Honestly, to be honest, like my pretzels were high in sodium. That's something that I could easily fix. I could replace that with a fruit or a vegetable as my snack. So I would probably just do that. Instead of having pretzels for my snack, I will just have carrots with celery or carrots and celery. So then I would type in carrots. I would have like a cup of carrots as a snack and celery. Search. It says half a cup, so then I would change this to 1 cup, and then I would add that. So hopefully that. My sodium's down. My sugar is a little high. I'll see if I could do anything about that. I did have a Dr. Pepper. That's an easy way. Instead of having Dr. Pepper, I can have water. And I feel like we easily go over on sugar if we are consuming like soda and stuff. So I'm just going to have like 3 cups of water. If I didn't want to do that, I could have a sugar-free option like a Dr. Pepper Zero or whatever. And then there we go. I would say that all of these numbers are reasonable. You see green, my sodium's high, but like as long as you're not like 500 over, like I'm not super concerned. I did make adjustments and make it a lot lower, and so I'm fine with that change. So then I would go here. I would make sure that I wrote everything I did. Pop-Tarts with banana to lower sugar and add a fruit. I remove ramen noodles and replace them with chicken and noodles to reduce sodium. Chicken and noodles also had the vegetable requirement. I got a single burger instead of a double to reduce sodium, and then I listed all of the fruits. So now I'm done. I've completed all of this. Everything's within reasonable. I made a big change to my sodium. It's still a little high. If yours was only this high, I would probably recommend that you adjust it, but based on where mine was, I'm happy with it. Then I would click view full report. I would scroll down. I would screenshot it. You screenshot it however your computer screenshots. Okay. And then I would take it and I would insert it from my computer, my desktop. I would insert the screenshot. And then I have all my changes here. And then I have all my explanations on what I changed and why. So that's how you do this part of the project.